Hi, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm talking about what the public believed about Darth Vader and his origins. Today's video will be exciting. I've already uploaded many videos of the Star Wars series. If you haven't seen them, please watch them with the link below. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the latest videos. For now, let's get started. Within the ranks of the Empire, Vader was a powerful and, in fact, well-known enforcer of the Empire. He was regarded as highly dangerous, but still someone to be admired. Throughout the Imperial military, the tales of exploits in combat echoed as they reflected on his humorous ability that helped him to perform challenging tasks and accomplish what some would consider impossible. But how much did the Imperial military know about Vader? Did they know he was a Sith? Or did they assume he was something else entirely? How much did the Empire and the average individual know about Darth Vader? And were they aware of his past? Vader was often upfront about his abilities, proudly displaying them whenever he felt necessary. Throughout the films, we can see this as he executes those that have failed him with the use of force in the direct view of others. As the Empire moved to the evolution of the Republic and people became persuaded that the Jedi were planning to undermine the Senate, the populace was uncertain what to do about Vader. For decades, the Jedi represented the Republic and were now replaced by Vader. Because of this, many speculated Vader was one of the few Jedi that remained loyal to the Republic above the Jedi Order themselves. Over the years, fewer and fewer users of the Force and the Jedi would appear, leading Tarkin to conclude that Vader was perhaps the last Jedi or Sith practitioner, revealing that he was not wholly aware of what Vader was. Vader was a familiar yet enigmatic figure, and he preferred to keep it as such to scare his enemies' hearts without knowing what he was afraid of them. A Sith Lord was the Jedi survivor of the Order 66, speculated Vader, but several were unsure whether he was one or yet another dark side user. Anakin's former persona was a well-kept secret of Darth Vader, and barely even mentioned, as Vader saw his former self as dead and gone. A rumor was generated that Vader stormed the Jedi Temple, and above all else, Anakin Skywalker stood high, becoming the last standing Jedi. The rumor lasted for years, long after the fall of the monarchy. One of the few who deduced Vader was Anakin Skywalker was Grand Moff Tarkin. Seeing Vader remembered him somewhat, and while much different than before, he remembered the Imperial Enforcer's mannerisms and combat styles. More rumors about Vader began to circulate that he was probably the next move after General Grievous, and that the Empire had created another cyborg to take the place of Grievous. This is suggested to be the common consensus for Vader's past among the ordinary people. Many thought Grievous was the test, and that the newer version was constructed using what had been learned from the droid general after the Clone Wars. The reasoning behind this belief that Vader was extraordinarily effective and carried out his commands of his emperor with haste and efficiency, seldom questioning the orders of his master and remaining loyal above the fear of death. Initially, Vader was a complete shock to all, striking fear in everyone, friend or foe of the Empire. The purpose of Vader was not to be the face of the Empire, but the machine that forced it to function. However, over time, Vader was featured in Imperial propaganda to get the word out of a powerful force behind the Empire, painted almost as a hero. The importance of Vader went beyond him being a Jedi or Sith. The public saw that he stood behind and often judged him on that. Of course, there were other cases where individuals had never even heard of Vader, as he was, after all, just one man, and despite his reputation, not everyone was aware of his existence. The stormtroopers he commanded adored their leader as, unlike the Imperial higher-ups and officers, Vader was a warrior like them, willing to fight for the Empire and dig his heels in the trenches with his men. A quote from one of Vader's men said this: "What makes you so loyal, Lord Vader?" "With your permission, sir, it's because my lord never asked his men to do anything he wouldn't do himself." The higher Imperial officers often mocked Vader as they saw him as almost a relic and saw his way of doing things as ancient and not advanced or civilized enough for them. However, many of the officers who held this opinion would never even dream of commenting in the presence of Vader himself. Vader simply despised the officers, seeing him as weak and cowardice. The opinion on Vader ranged from hatred to absolute loyalty, as he was a very derisive figure in the galaxy and among the Empire. But one thing that was always consistent was to be feared. Following his death on the second Death Star, a cult emerged known as the Acolytes of the Beyond, who appeared to worship Vader. The group even created graffiti that read Vader's lives and spread it over the cities they've entered. This indicates some in the public may have questioned if he ever indeed died in the first place. Vader was a hero for few, at the end of the day, but a tyrant to most of those loyal to the Empire. They were delighted to have him at their side, and those who were not scared of his name being listed. That's how the audience viewed Darth Vader, as well as some of the fascinating rumors about Vader. Let me know what you think, though. What's your favorite story about Vader? And if you were an ordinary human in the galaxy, how do you think you would have viewed Vader? As a sign of optimism or fear? If you have any other ideas, or you would like me to cover how the galaxy perceived those characters or things, please let me know down in the comments. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to upload all other comic series topics. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.